Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this from the Blaze. Katie Couric wants to know how we will deprogram people who sign up for the cult of Trump. Don't you think Katie Couric, is, how many Couric units worth do you think is she worth with them? You know, how big is she? Let's see. 2.5 pounds. She's probably 120, maybe 60 Couric units, maybe 50 Courics. What do you think? Is she worth 50, 55 Courics? Looking at it, definitely not Bono level sized, but she's quite there, nearly there. But quite frankly, her opinions may actually be worth more in Couric sizes. Hey, it may even break Randy Marsh's record of 100 Courics. Fascinating. During her appearance on Real Time with Maher, Katie Couric attacked Republican members of the Congress and President Donald Trump. Of course she would. Couric went so far as to ask, quote, "How are we going to really almost deprogram these people who have signed up for the cult of Trump?" End quote. The former co-anchor of NBC Today's show besieged Republican lawmakers who were friendly towards Trump. Couric appeared to assail Republicans such as Colorado Representative Lauren Boebert, who vowed to carry her gun into work in Washington, D.C. It's her right. There's nothing you Couric can do. On that note, I think I went to the toilet. I think I nearly did a Couric unit. I nearly did. But filling my belly right now, I think there's more coming up. So maybe I can definitely reach that coveted level of a bit more than one Couric level. I'm definitely not going to reach the Randy Marsh first attempt, which was around 7 Courics, but one can only dream. Alright. At least this is the idea. Let's take a look. Following the riots at the Capitol, metal detectors were installed in the building. Several Republican Congress members, including Boebert, objected to the metal detectors and searches.
It is so shocking. Not only are they conceding, Bill, but their thoughts that there might have been some collusion among members of the Congress. Some are refusing to go through magnetometers to check for weapons. They are not wearing masks during the siege.
End quote. Couric told Maher. Oh, the humanity! Earlier this week, Representative Ayanna Pressley, of course he has to be a Democrat, also slammed Congress members for not wearing face masks during the chaos at the Capitol on January 6th. Pressley proclaimed that the Republicans not wearing face masks was a criminal for fuck's sake, criminal behavior. That's what you're going to go with. Oh, Jesus Christ. And argued that maskless politicians were engaging in chemical Wait. Okay, I understand the idea behind criminal behavior and etc. But what's with the chemical warfare and maskless? I don't get that one. Are virus chemicals? Well, yes, we are all made of chemicals, but the right definition in this, at least based on warfare and other things like that, well, at least the very definition of the words of warfare and other things, I think the correct word would be biological warfare, not chemical. I think she might be slightly retarded. But then again, she's a Democrat. So, chances are she's not even aware of her own existence. She probably has a very limited memory capacity, so the programmer who programmed this Democrat didn't have much to work with. For instance, you could get away with a lot in a small programmable space. For instance, the dynamic campaign of Falcon 4.0, which is one of the best dynamic campaigns ever made in a game. It was done all in a very limited limited format, in a very limited space. I don't remember exactly the size of the memory. I think it was 1 megabyte or even less that the programmer had to work with. So I wonder how many kilobytes did they allow, or they have allotted to Ayanna Presley. Maybe 3? Because it's definitely not much to make them aware of things, or even add extra definition of words. For instance, biological to actually mean viral warfare, using biological weapons. That's probably... she's probably not aware of the word. Yeah. What can we do? NPCs, right? Couric continued her condemnation of Republicans. Quote,
I mean, it's really bizarre, isn't it? When you think about AWOL, so many of these members of Congress have gotten, but I also think some of them are believing the garbage that they are being fed 24/7 on the internet by their constituents, and they bought into this big lie.
End quote. Couric declared, which is, I think every sentence she's pooping out of this is kind of a Couric level. It's kind of a Couric unit. At least I think this paragraph over here is a Couric.
And the question is, how are we going to really almost deprogram these people who have signed up for the cult of Trump?
End quote. Couric then called for the impeachment of Trump. Holy shit. So there's one and two, probably 3 Courics. This comment. Quote,
but Bill, if you commit a crime and then you move, does that mean we are not going to charge you with a crime because you're moving out of the neighborhood? I mean, it's ludicrous.
End quote. Couric argued. Quote,
I think there have to be guardrails on presidential power. He incited violence. He was really inciting violence. I cannot prove it. I cannot even show the exact message because I was told that he incited violence. And I mean, how am I going to go against the narrative? They don't allow me to go against the narrative. And my programmer did not make me think more, did not program me to think. He only programmed me to follow. So I'm following, and I'm following the narrative. And the narrative says he incited violence. So I believe in that. Okay, Bill. Okay.
Couric fantasized about a, quote, Hollywood ending to Trump's administration where Senator Majority Leader Mitch McConnell comes out as the hero to convict the president. Oh, Jesus Christ, the turtle! Couric celebrated Trump being banned from social media platforms such as Twitter and Facebook. So it turns out the 50 Courics is capable of actually doing over 100 Courics. Oh no, they could do that. Randy, time to get yourself better. Time to get yourself the 200 Courics to beat the actual Couric. Go on, Randy. Quote,
you are not allowed to yell fire at the crowded theater. If you're inciting violence and you're spreading lies that aren't getting people fired up, encouraging violence, I think there should be some standards.
End quote. Couric said of the banning of Trump on social media. Couric. The career talk show host gleefully welcomed Joe Biden as the next president, calling his inauguration an
important symbol of closing the chapter of Donald Trump.
End quote. Maher cautioned that the 78-year-old Biden should hold a small indoor inauguration ceremony to protect against the potential coronavirus risk, or to actually hide the fact that not many people like him or voted for him. Moving on, because I'm not allowed to spout those opinions here in YouTube. Alright, Joe Biden is a
Joe Biden is a freaking tragedy magnet!
Quote, end quote. Maher remarked, quote,
he broke his foot playing with his dog. His eye exploded from blinking. Why got to treat this guy like the baby and children of man?
End quote. I agree with Maher here. Couric downplayed Biden's previous health issues, while at the same time maligning Trump's physique. Of course she would! After all, she needs to end her Couric appearance on Bill Maher with a Couric-sized nugget. Quote,
I think he's pretty vibrant and in good shape.
End quote. Couric defended Biden. Quote,
you saw him run across the stage when he made that speech. Compared his physique fitness to Donald Trump. Hello!
End quote. Couric will be a guest host on Jeopardy, attempting to fill in for the late Alex Trebek. Seriously? Trump? Biden spends most of his time sleeping. You can actually spot him sleeping on being unaware of the environment or where he is. While Trump can do hours upon hours of speeches, commissions, and rallies. You saw that on the election, the pre-election stuff. He was on multiple rallies on one single day. He was everywhere. He is a man of energy, high energy. Not even I can, even compared to the energy of Trump sometimes. I need this to keep me awake on some really shitty news, and this one is a shitty news. No, I'm not criticizing the actual report. I'm criticizing the amount of Couric Katie Couric managed to poop out. It's nonsensical. She's definitely not the brightest little. Then again, it's a Couric. And FYI, if you're still unaware of why I'm making these comparisons with Randy Marsh, Bono, and Couric units, here is the reason why. Couric, the standard unit measurement for mass weight of feces, as noted on the 2007 South Park episode More Crap. The European Fecal Standards and Measurements Board in Zurich keeps track of the authenticity of its records. It is mentioned in the episode that 1 Katie Couric is about 2.5 pounds of excrement. The original record was set in the 1960s at 7.5 Courics. It was revealed in October 2007. The record excrement is in fact Bono of U2 fame, which had grown to 80 Courics, which explains why Bono seems so great, yet it's still a piece of Couric. That same day, American Randy Marsh set the new record at 100 Courics. The record still stands. That is, until today, with Katie Couric managing to voice her retarded opinions. Yeah, how many Courics do you think she is worth? I think she is a weight of 50 or around or so Courics. But her opinions on the Bill Maher show, it's definitely over 100 Courics. Beating not only Bono, but Randy Marsh attempt at the world record. So, Randy Marsh, time to get your Couric together and beat the record. Until, obviously, Katie Couric opens her mouth again. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more of this. And head to minds.com for exclusive content that I cannot mention or say on YouTube. Right? Cool, isn't it? Being censored. The best thing in the world. Anyway, the most important thing right now is to reward you with my little... because it's hot. And apparently I still need to replace this one. Apparently it came defective from factory and I need to replace it. Great, another week or more without a headphone. Wonderful. Anyway, oh yeah, the most important one. Good night.